35 people are wounded is what the reports say, and they also have Nick joining us live from Tel Aviv. Nick, what is the update in the case? Was it likely an attack from Iran, or is it just like an accident that has occurred? Because what we do know is the attack took place near the military base. What is the latest update on the case?
Yes, so actually we are standing now at Tel Aviv. This is next to a secret base of the Israeli Mossad, the spy agency, and also next to the special military bases of the Israeli military, the intelligence one. And here behind me is the bus. From this bus, about 50, 60 elderly people, most of them were elderly in their 50s, 60s, they came down from the bus, and the truck hit the bus, and about 40 people were injured and taken to the hospital. And now you can go with me, and you can see, this is the bus. Here you can see the impact from the truck. And if you will go now after me, you will see the truck that the driver was Israeli Arab. Unfortunately, some of the terror attacks happening when Arabs that living in Israel doing these terror attacks. And you can see it is still a scene with a lot of police here, and they are trying to investigate and understand what is going on, if it actually was a terror attack or maybe an accident. But most of the evidence right now showing that probably it was a terror attack. And you can see here, you can see this is the track, and in this track, the driver was an Israeli Arab, and probably he did it because just the day before Israel attacked Iran, and maybe it was some coordination with Iran, maybe not. It is still under investigation, so all the possibilities, all the options on the table still.
Right, Nick, keep speaking to us because you're at the exact spot where the accident had happened, and we are calling this as an accident because remember, we do not know if this was a terror attack, because remember, just 2 days back is when the Israel had pounded upon on Iran, had launched an attack on Iran on their military targets. Now what we know is that today this accident has happened where, and this is very close to where the Mossad headquarters is. Nick is live from the ground in Tel Aviv, getting us exact ground report from the spot where the attack happened. Nick, walk us through, what do you see in and around? How many people have been reported injured, and what is the update regarding that case?
So about 40 people are injured, some of them really severely injured. The police asked us to go back because it's still a live scene here. So about 30 people are injured, about 6 severely, either mildly or lightly injured, and the only one that's dead is the driver, that police considers him to be a terrorist, and now they are still here on the scene. They are trying to understand better from the evidence that are here what exactly happened, and this place here is very sensitive. That's why there's a lot of security forces. As I said before, there are secret military bases here, and also the Mossad headquarters.
Right, Nick. Do we know the identity of the driver? And share with us the timeline when the incident happened, and what is it that the officials are telling you?
So the accident happened in the late morning in Israel, and it happened here behind me. It is a Sunday. This is the first day of the week in Israel. And there are a lot of activity here because soldiers are coming back to their bases after the holiday, after the weekend, and also people going to the work. And here behind me, many people were by the bus that was hit by this, as you can see here behind me, the truck. It's a very big truck, and fortunately, no one of the injured is dead, and now the Israeli hospital is trying to save the lives of those who are severely injured.
Right, Nick. What is the update regarding the investigation? Has the truck driver been questioned? Where is he at this point of time?
So actually, he's dead because as the accident happened in Israel, there are many people with weapons, and this is like an instinct here in Israel when they see a terrorist or somebody that they consider to be a terrorist. the first reaction of people is to take their guns or rifles and just to shoot. So the driver was killed. So from what we understand, it was probably a policeman or some security guard that shot about 3 bullets at him, and his body has been taken from here, and that's why nobody can actually question the driver. And the people that were here injured, they are all of them in hospital. So the investigation right now is going on, and the police trying to understand better what happened.
Right, Nick. Now the incident comes as Israel marks the Hebrew calendar anniversary of the Hamas October 7 attack that happened. What are the officials telling you? Is it a retaliation from Iran? Has it been claimed that way by the officials? Or what does the investigation say? Because what you were showing us earlier was the impact of the accident that happened. Walk us through the truck and the bus visual that you were showing us, which shows us the gravitas of the attack.
Yeah, you can go back to the bus and you can see again the impact that was on the bus. And actually right now, the police still not sure what was the motivation of the driver of this truck. But if we think that just yesterday Israel attacked Iran, so probably there is a connection. It is at least something that the police and the security forces, the Israeli Shabak, will check right now to understand better. We saw the same happen the last time that Iran attacked Israel, just minutes before the barrage of about 181 ballistic missiles from Iran. We saw a terror attack also in Tel Aviv when 2 Arabs, Palestinians from the West Bank, came to the boulevard in Tel Aviv, and they just shot anyone that they saw on their way, and they killed at least 8 people. And minutes after that, Iran attacked Israel with the ballistic missiles, and now it's happening 1 day after Israel attacked Iran. So probably there is some connection, but yet we need to remember that in Israel, there's a lot of terror attacks by Arabs, and it is happening, unfortunately, for many years, for decades now. And not just Iran involved in that, but also the Palestinians and the terror organizations that they just want to destroy Israel.
Right, Nick, as you were telling us, prima facie, it looks like a terror attack because it comes just days and hours after Israel launched an attack on Iran. However, the officials haven't confirmed that yet. But Nick, tell us about the time of the incident that happened. We learned that the incident happened around 10:08 a.m. IST, Indian Standard Time. What was the crowd like there? Is it a crowded place? Because what we do know, as they were telling us, there's the Mossad headquarters where the attack, or as the accident, what we might call it, happened. What is the situation right now? The officials have, of course, cordoned off the area. But what was the situation at the time when the incident happened? Was there a crowd in and around that area where the attack happened?
So, as I said before, at Sunday, many soldiers are going to the army after the weekend, and also people are going to the work. So yes, here a lot of people are going on during the morning hours of Sunday, as it happened today. And when the terror attack happened, also this bus that you see behind me stopped, and a lot of people came down from the bus. And just at this time, the truck with the terrorists hit this bus. So it, because of that, it makes sense that he did it intentionally to try and kill as much as possible people. In here were many thousands of people, and that's why about 40 of them at least were injured.
Right, Nick. Keep speaking to us, because earlier when you went ahead of the barricade where it was placed, we saw security officials there probing the attack site. If you can get us the first-hand account of what the officials are saying. There is a lot of crowd, as we can see in your frame there. What is it all about? Yeah, so the police is still on the scene. The chief policeman of Israel, the head of the Israeli police, as well as the Minister of the National Security, Tamar Ben-Gvir, are here on the scene, and they are getting their updates from the policemen and also from the Shabak, the Shin Bet, the Israeli
special security forces, and they are trying to figure out exactly what was the motivation of the terrorists, but because he is eliminated by at least 3 shots, nobody can question him, but now the police will try to find his family, his friends. They will try to understand how he got here, and they will ask his bosses at the work, and they will try to understand if he had some motivation, if he had some connection with terror groups or with the Iranians. He's Israeli Arab. In Israel, about 20-something% of the citizens, of the residents are Arabs. This is a historical fact. Since the beginning of Israel, since 1948, the mixed population here live together, the Arabs and the Jews, and there are a lot of clashes that are happening between those people because the Arabs from the beginning, from the establishment of Israel, they didn't accept the decision of the UN to divide the country between Jews and Arabs, and that's why there are constant wars and terror attacks here, unfortunately, and the last cycle of violence, the escalation is with Iran, but everything is connected. The Palestinians, the Hamas in Gaza, the Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and militias in Iraq and in Syria and Iran, they are all working together. All of them doesn't want Israel to exist. And that's why it is so hard for Israel to try and maintain a normal life in Israel. And there are so many terror attacks as we see here today.
Right, Nick. What I do want to know from you is where was the bus headed to and how many people were there inside the bus?
Okay, so you can see here behind me, this is the truck, and we still have a lot of security forces. We can go from here, and you can see that there are still a lot of policemen here behind me. The truck, they all try to figure out right now, still, if there are some clues, some evidence that can give them a little bit more of understanding what exactly happened, why the driver chose this place and this hour. We know that Hezbollah and also Iran and also even Hamas in Gaza and Houthis in Yemen, they are trying, as well as the militias in Syria and Iraq, to target this specific place where I'm standing right now, because this is the headquarters of the Mossad next to this place, and for them it is a really good place to hit, to show how they can damage Israeli so famous spy agency, and that's why this place is so sensitive, and the Israeli police and the Shabak try to understand better what happened exactly.
Right, Nick. What is Israel contemplating if it proves to be a terror attack? What is the next step of action?
So actually, the Minister of National Security, Itamar Ben-Gvir, just said to the local press and international press that it's here, that he will try to make new laws in Israel, that with those laws, even Israeli Arabs would be expelled from Israel and their houses will be destroyed. And he tries to do laws that will help Israel try to make more pressure on the Arab community not to engage in terror organization activity, not to accept any offers from the Iranians or from other terror organizations that are trying to seduce them with money to do terror attacks in Israel. And actually, in the last months, Israeli Shabak arrested few groups of Israelis that were coordinated by Iran, especially by Telegram application, for money to try and make terror attacks in Israel and try to liquidate some Israeli famous persons, especially politicians.